you're so sad? You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
All right, everybody. Now I'm coming through over the mic. Good Lord. Stuff blowing up all over the place on us here. My name is Chris Graham. Welcome to our live coverage of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship, where tonight the stars and cars of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship are taking on USA International. Qualifications are underway. I was talking very briefly. I'm going to get James Watson up here in just a second as well so he can talk to you. But cars doing their qualifying laps now. 3 minutes and 18 seconds left. Brian Labarge heading the show. Brian Karszewski, Wes Shire, Everett Paddock completing the top four here. And let's take a look and see who we got. Who we want to take a look at next here anyway. Let's pull up Mike Holler. Get a look at that race car as it heads off into turn number one. Also have Richard Holt out on the racetrack as well. And James, are you with me now here, bud? I think everybody will be able to hear both of us.
I sure am, Graham.
There we go. All right, so I got you. We'll get the rest of the iRacing audio fired up here as well, but one of the things, James, that I'm really looking forward to watching here as we get ready to roll for Oval Week. In fact, qualifications are done, and we are ready to go racing. Let's very quickly show you the point standings here heading into tonight's race. Week number 2 of this 12-week schedule. David Porcelli holding on to the points lead. 15 total markers. 3 points ahead of Nicholas Daly, 5 ahead of Everett Paddock, Ryan Hammond, and Richard Holt, rounding out the top 5. That is on the Indy Pro side of things. In the combined championship, Nicholas Daly actually leading on the strength of both races 1 week ago. David Porcelli, Carter Lundy rounding out the top 5. Remember, Lundy was not in the race here 1 week ago. 20 cars on the entry list tonight. A lot of familiar names and a couple that we're going to learn a little bit about here over the course of this thing. But James, USAI is not an easy place to get around in these cars. I drove one of these races yesterday with you guys. The car can be really good. It can be snap loose on exit. It can push like a dump truck on corner entry. There is just so much going on that these drivers have to worry about. But I think tire conservation might be the biggest of the lot.
Yeah, this is, of all the ovals we go on for the Indy Pro schedule, this might be the hardest by far. Like, it's so tight, it's narrow, it's easy to kick out, it's easy to burn the right front off. We are going to see astronomical tire wear, so you're going to have to see a lot of the top guys saving their tires in the opening run, because if you don't, you're going to hurt. If we get a late-ish yellow, we might actually see people coming in for pit stops. That's how bad the tire wear has been this week.
Yeah, let's take a look here at the starting grid for tonight's race as we've got these guys rolling their way around the racetrack. Still going to have one additional lap here behind the iRacing safety car, and it will be Brian Labarge and Brian Karszewski on row number 1. Row number 2 will have Wes Shire and Everett Paddock. Keep your eye on those two. Winner could come from row number 2 here tonight. Joseph Heath and Nicholas Daly on row number 3. Row 4 will have Stephen C. Thompson and Ben Carswell. Mike Barry, Rod Eskew on row 5. Row 6, Simon Fell and Nagisa Yoshikawa. Row number 7 will be Mike Long and Mike Holler. Row 8, Jack Ritchie, Nee Camargo. Row number 8, Richard Holt and the law firm Alexander Wesley Hazelworth. Row number 10, Zach Nurnberger and Steve Gauthier. 20 cars lined up for tonight's race. As always, race fans, enjoy this one. It's going to be all yours. Oh, we've got a big mess in turn 1. Caution flag will be out early. We are 4-5 cars deep. Big mess in turn number 1. Let's see. We're going to have to... let's wind this one back here because, quite frankly, this one was a bit of a mess at the start. One car going around... I believe that may have been the 12 of Joe Heath. Let's take a look and see here who we can find that possibly was. But not the way you want to start these races, James. It's going to be okay, I guess, in a sense, in that you didn't really get the tire wear totally up high. But these guys are going to have a whole lot of damage repair to do for some of these cars.
Yeah, we have a lot of top guards taken out of this, man. I tell you, it's the nature of the beast. This place is really tough, especially on cold tires. It's unpredictable. It's a lot more loose than what you're really going to get more towards. So it just catches some people out. Even the best get caught out here.
I'll tell you what, I think we have the cause of the incident here. Keep your eye on the left-hand side of the screen at the number 16 machine. He comes down, kind of brake checks the 12 almost a little bit. Stephen C. Thompson's going to be caught up in that. Several cars involved. Looks like Rod Eskew may have been pinned up against the outside wall as well, but That's odd to see kind of a brake check or something like that really early in the race.
Yeah, probably just, you know, mistime entry. Some can take it a lot more easier into the corner. Don't want to push it too hard, don't want to slide, and the other car behind might not necessarily anticipate it, and that happens.
Yeah, in fact, let's see if we can't take a look at this one from the overhead. The NRN drone as this one's flying down towards turn number 1. There you see the move by Daly. He just kind of grabbed the brakes a little bit. It looked like Heath wasn't quite ready for it. But Nicholas Daly, after a great week 1 week ago, he is up into the outside wall and likely done very, very early on in this race.
Yeah, that's just that's heartbreaking for Daly.
90210 is checking in. When's the next time this open wheel doubleheader happens at a Canadian track? Asking, because then you could call it the open wheel double-double. I see what you did there. That start was like a real USF oval race. A little bit. Pace car already pulling in. We are getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It's going to be Brian Labarge at the head of the field. He easily clears Brian Karszewski. Karszewski's going to have to deal with Wes Shire into 1.
I tell you, Brian has picked up a lot running Tuesday nights with us at TNT. Like, to get the pole against this talent, that's huge for Brian. That just speaks to his adaptability and how much he's learned. Like, I'm super impressed with Brian being able to put up such an incredible qualifying effort. Again, this track is not for the faint of heart with this car.
No, this place is tough. That's kind of putting it mildly, I think. Let's take a look a little bit further back here and pick up the battle between Mike Holler and Simon Fell doing the fighting out here. Let's get that one up in the side-by-side box. We'll have the Holler battle down there in the lower right-hand corner and keep things a little bit closer up here on the leaders at the front. Brian Karszewski holding off Wes Shire and Everett Paddock at this point. Labarge opening up a little bit of a gap, sitting right about half second.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage. Like, the clean air is so important here. You know, we're kind of used to clean air not being that big of a deal in these cars, but it's kind of a big deal here. And so it just makes it so hard to pass. So he's going to have to fall off or make a serious mistake for anyone to realistically get by him if he's keeping up this pace.
Yeah, taking a look here at the fastest lap of the race, and that does belong to Wes Shire at an 18.601, 117.8 miles per hour. Weather conditions for this race are perfect. 67-degree ambient, 70-degree track temp, calm winds out of the northwest. Getting the questions in the comments, is fuel a problem here? No. That's the short answer. How many laps until they catch the tail end?
You have a problem.
Yes, that is exactly right.
With the pace in this race, it's probably going to be a while before they catch lap traffic. I'd give it like maybe 20, 30 laps.
Oh, and Mike Holler spins off at turn number 2. Caution is out for the second time.
Mikey, no, we didn't hit anything, it looks like.
No, the car looks clean. Let's wind the replay back here so we can show you what happened off of turn number 2. This is something almost the exact same thing I did last night. Let's fade this one over and hit the play button. Keep your eye on Mike Holler here off of turn 2. It was just a lazy little self-spin. It just so happened that it was in front of a couple of cars, so the caution flag's going to wave. Kind of no harm, no foul for Holler. I would imagine he would probably come in and take tires, but he's going to stay out. However, Nagisa Yoshikawa is going to come down pit lane. Actually, a handful of cars. Nieje Camargo, Zach Nurenberger, Rod Eskew, Steven C. Thompson still on pit lane after that first lap incident.
Oh man, all those poor torn up cars. Hopefully some of them can get it fixed up.
Nürnberger Camargo also almost make contact on their way out of pit lane. Yoshikawa going to be able to beat them out 11.35 seconds. So he did a little bit of damage to that car in that first lap incident. But you're going to be able to get it repaired. If it's that short of a repair, it shouldn't affect you too bad later in the race.
No, thankfully any front or rear wing damage, it's a very quick repair.
Also seeing the 12 of Joseph Heath on the pit lane here as we are working at lap number 16 of 70. Theoretically, this race could be done without pit stops, James, and really where the advantage comes in is if you're sort of middle to the back half of the top 10 on back, if you and everybody else comes down, you're going to have fresh tires later in the race. That's where this could make a difference. I don't know that it's a huge deal to stop this early, though.
No, well, like, the thing you always have to keep in mind is, you know, we all know these tires are rocks for the first few laps, so it's not gonna be an advantage for the beginning of the run. You gotta hope that there's some time for them to come in and to be able to use that tire advantage. If it's like 10 to go, then it's probably not going to help you much depending on where you are and where you were before pit. But if you're towards the back, you know, might as well, you know, of course. But yeah, you kind of need it to come out with like the caution to come out at like lap 48 or so to really have an advantage.
Yeah, field has seen the 1 to go signal, so actually no, will likely see it this time by the start finish line. Now with this many cautions early on here, it does open the window up a little bit for some of these guys maybe to not consider the tire strategy, especially somebody like Ben Carswell, Mike Barry, Simon Fell. They're running 5th, 6th, and 7th. You can't give up the track position. You either have to pit now and take them now or not pit at all because you're going to give up too much track position at a place that is very, very difficult to pass on.
Exactly. If you're towards the back, it's a no-brainer, but if you're mid-pack, you got to, you know, weigh how good you think your car is and how good you are compared to those around, how screwed your tires are, too.
Off at turn 4, green flag back in the air. Man, great start for Brian Labarge. West Shire bobbled a little bit. He's going to be right up on the tail of the 7 of Karszewski as they get to 1, though. All the way back through Mike Barry in the 6th position, starting to break away a little bit from Simon Fell in 7th. Based on this restart and the lines that I'm seeing everybody running, it really looks to me, James, like some of what we're seeing is possibly some self-preservation of just, I need to be there at the end of this thing. I can push all I want now, but if you junk the thing or blow off your tires, you're going to be just terrible at the end of this race.
Yeah, this is a place where tire conservation creeps into your head the most, you know, because it's not really a draft block oval like we're accustomed to. You know, other ones like Gateway or Old Phoenix, you kind of have to push hard at the beginning no matter what because you run the risk of losing the draft. Draft doesn't really come into play here, so you can focus more on taking care of your stuff and taking care of your tires and try to use it to your advantage later on.
Yeah, that was something I noticed when driving the car, even the little bit that I drove it last night. It was not a place that you had to worry about getting run over from behind so long as you were relatively on pace, which meant you could concentrate on hitting your marks. For the guys at the back of the pack, that's pretty important with how dirty the air can be. At the front, it kind of gives you a little bit of room to say, hey, I'll show a little inside, I'll show a little outside, try to fill the mirrors up a little bit, maybe even get the spotter talking and kind of force the leader or the guy you're trying to pass into a mistake.
That's if you're able to get close enough. That's the thing, is dirty air can wreak havoc sometimes where you can't really close in more than like 2/10 or so.
Yeah, Alexander Wesley Hazelworth going new fastest lap of the race here, 118.490 miles per hour. And we're seeing a little bit of what you talked about here at the front, James, where it looks like Karszewski is kind of entering a little bit shallower, getting a little bit of air on the left front side of the wing. Wes Shire is entering turn 1 a little bit higher, trying to get some air on the right side of the wings. It's just little bits of air, but it's cleaner than what's coming off the wake directly off the back of the race car.
Yep, and just that little bit can mean, honestly, 1/10 or so. That's the ridiculous thing about it. It doesn't seem like much, but it's huge, because it can also help you maintain some semblance of tire cooling. You know, a couple degrees here and there, but it's important. It really is.
Taking a look here, seeing that Steven C. Thompson may have had an issue, and it looks like, yeah, he's just circling this racetrack down on the apron. Take a look, Karszewski. Oh, there's contact. Labarge slides up the racetrack.
Whoa, was that a bump and run?
That was absolutely a bump and run. Take a look, the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay coming up here. Karszewski to the inside, the slightest little bit of contact. Labarge able to straighten the car out, but that was it. Labarge now back to third. Wes Shire saying thank you very much. I will come through as well and enjoy it. Ben Carswell going to work on Everett Paddock. New paint job. The guy looks like $1 million.
And he's been quick all week. Ben has had some serious pace. He's kind of a dark horse contender for this thing.
Well, I would imagine that's going to help when you've turned 500,000 laps in races this week.
Yeah, right.
Trying to see, I don't see Ben on the first page of these standings here. We'll take a look and find them. Let's see. Ben has also been doing a lot of driving in the Camel GT races as well.
Yep, and Lord knows driving that car really helps supply to this thing. Yep.
Oh, how about it? Wes Shire around Brian Karszewski for the race lead. It'll be cross flags next time by halfway home. 35 down, 35 to go. Oh, a little bit of a fade there by Labarge. Maybe caught Ben Carswell out on the high side. He's going to be able to come past. And Carswell slots in line right back between Labarge and Paddock. Take a look at the race summary here for the halfway point. 3 different leaders, 2 lead changes. 2 cautions for 9 laps. Your fastest lap of the race belongs to Alexander Wesley Hazelworth. 118.734 miles per hour. Let's wind this one back and we'll bring up the side-by-side box for you here. We'll take a look at the pass for the race lead just a couple of laps ago. Wes Shire making the big dive bomb into turn number 1. Karszewski has to hold it up on the outside of the racetrack. Interesting to note here, though, that Wes does not get the pass completed until they are well off of turn number 4. In fact, it took him a couple of laps to work that pass out. What that tells me is any pass that we're going to see for the race lead is going to take a lap and a half or so to complete. You're really going to have to work if you want to get that done.
Oh yeah, like it's crazy how freaking hard it is to pass. You're going to be side by side. You have to hope that you can hold the inside, because it's going to be easy to try to go around the outside. Although if your right front is kind of toasted, you're not really going to survive going around the outside either. So
nice move there on Labarge by Ben Carswell, picking up position number 3. Ben getting himself up onto the podium here in one of the official races. The SOF broadcast races, one of Ben's first possible podium runs. Don't take the hats to victory lane yet. Wow, good battle back here with Mike Holler as well. Let's pull this one up and we'll get you the side-by-side. Holler, he's going to have Hazelworth down to the inside. Labarge fighting with Everett Paddock for position as well. Paddock down to the inside. Now the question is, Paddock's likely to clear him here. Is Mike Barry going to be able to do the same as Hazelworth again looks inside a Holler to 3? Mike Barry not able to force the door open for him to attempt the pass. Hazelworth again looks inside. Oh, there's contact! Both cars are going to go around. Holler's into the wall. Hazelworth goes around. Caution flag is out for the 3rd time here at USA International. We're going to take a look at this one from the NRN drone, because I think there will be a little bit of a debate between these two drivers as to the cause of this incident. Man, that was tight, but both cars making heavy contact. Holler bouncing it off the outside wall. See if we can get another different look at this one. They actually almost made contact going into 3. Let's take a look here. Man, that is just absolute. I think that may be some net code, and quite frankly, a racing deal. We'll see if Mike Holler comes into pit. He does not. Alexander Wesley Hazelworth off the pit lane. 11 seconds on the time of the stop for Hazelworth. I can't believe Holler's car is not damaged in that. He pancaked that car pretty hard on the outside wall.
Yeah, that, oh man, he is a lucky boy.
Yeah, the car actually looks pretty clean looking at here at the second screen. Yeah, this is going to be kind of interesting to watch how this plays out for Mike Holler. We still have a lap to go before we go back to green. Let's see if we can't get a quick word in here with race leader Wes Shire. And Wes, the car looks really good. Nice pass there on Karszewski to take the lead. Got to be confident here with about 20 to go when we go green.
Yeah, we'll see. Should be pretty good. Did a full run before the race, and yeah, had a little bit of fall off starting around roughly now, but yeah, should be fun.
Do all the caution laps that we've turned here tonight help you out a ton in terms of tire wear, just not having to run race pace laps on them?
Yeah, definitely helping with the tire wear there. I think hopefully we'll be fine at the end. I don't think I'm going to be full push immediately, but definitely, definitely going to have some fun here.
All right, Wes. Good luck the rest of the way here, buddy. Thanks for taking a minute to check in with us.
Yeah.
So there you go. Interesting, James, that we're hearing possibly the not pushing too early thing. I would imagine you let the tires cool off a little bit. You want to bring them back up to temperature, but at some point you're going to have to go. Karszewski's been quick all night. Ben Carswell's passed a handful of cars. it's go time for a lot of these guys if you're behind Brian Karszewski in second.
Yeah, honestly, this is kind of what I was saying. This is like the ideal time for those in the mid-pack wanting to take a gamble on tires. Like, I called it. You want it to come out at like lap 48. When did it come out? Like lap 46, 47?
Yeah, something like that. It was,
I actually called something. Wow, even a blind squirrel finds a nut eventually.
We can confirm that. You are fully
How many cars pit? I wasn't quite able to see
none.
Who jumped down pit road. Well, that is disappointing.
Yeah. Oh, man, what a great restart for Westshire. Karszewski got caught sleeping. Carswell, in fact, had to back off. He's going to dive inside into turn 1. Can Ben Carswell capitalize and go hunting down Westshire?
Wow.
No, caution is out.
He lucked out because, wow, he was sleeping so bad. You might want to check and see if he still has Blinky and a Teddy in the cockpit of the car.
Wow.
I'm full of one-liners tonight.
Let's take a look here and see if we can try to figure out who had the incident here. Oh, there it is. I don't know that there was contact here. It's going to be a close call on this one. Time for AT&T. You make the call. We're going to take a look at it from the overhead. If you're old enough to get that reference, why are you watching us? Keep your eye on that red and white car right in the middle of the frame. Oh, maybe. But just enough for the 6 of Jack Ritchie to go around and into the outside retaining wall. Ritchie's coming down pit lane. Looks like maybe damage on the right rear of that car. Now, iRacing has... go ahead, James.
That's so unfortunate. Like, it was like the perfect storm. Like, the end plate of Michael's wing just caught the rear attenuator just enough to basically rip the rear out. You feel bad, man.
Here's what I don't get, though. Mike Holler pancaked the wall. He hit it a ton. And he's running in the 8th position right now. The 6 car of Jack Ritchie is over 30 seconds in damage repairs on pit road.
So, it's a bit unpredictable. There's a lot of luck in this damage model. Like, last USA week, I got turned. There was an incident with a lap car, Carter and I ended up getting spun back into the wall, but the rear light of my car was what hit the wall, and it spun me back, and it actually kept my car perfectly fine, just a rear wing, 5-second rear wing change. So if you can hit flush on certain areas, you will be okay. That's what happened with Holler. That did not happen with Ritchie. He went, the right rear was the thing that hit, that was the point of contact.
Right, the corner got it, and that's the type of hit that's going to bend the suspension pieces, break a toe link, those types of things.
Precisely.
Man, I don't know. It still feels like the damage model is broken. You shouldn't be able to pound the wall and continue on. Now, I will say this, though. Mike Holler is doing a fantastic job with that car that could have some damage to it.
Yeah, I mean, he could have a little bit of floor damage. Like, I don't...
You know what? Let's go on board here with Mike Holler. You can see that right front is pushed in. A little bit.
I don't... Can we go to a... Because I can't tell if it's just camber, or can we go to a different onboard?
No, maybe it's not pushed in.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
It's
Everything looks clean.
Yeah, it's just the camber. The camber you have to put in the right front around the oval, around this oval. Oh boy, here we go.
Getting ready for another restart here. This one with 14 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. Again, what a restart for Westshire.
Still got the blankie.
Oh, man, Everett Paddock had a big look at Ben Carswell. They almost put 3-4 cars in the wall there. Now LaBarge going to dive inside of Paddock to 3. Oh, one car going around. Caution is out. Looks like, I believe that may have been Simon Fell who went for a spin. Mike Holler also going around as a result of that incident. But we are under the caution flag again here at USA International. This race coming in absolute fits and starts. Let's take a look here and see which angle we want to use for this replay. I think this is a good one. Keep your eyes on Mike Holler and Simon Fell. Simon's in the yellow car, Mike in the baby blue and white. Just a little bit of contact. Nagisa Yoshikawa may have been involved. Wow, that was a big hit for Zach Nurnberger as well. So again, 3 really good cars involved in this incident. Mike Holler is on pit lane. The car is up on the jack, so the crew is going to work, but the big question now, at least for me, James, is we're down to going to be 10 laps to go this time by. 2 restarts in a row. Wes Shire has managed to catch Brian Karszewski asleep at the wheel. I don't think that happens again. And now you've raced a ton with Wes. Obviously,
yeah,
he's kind of known for picking a spot and he just hits the spot. But he's also really good at playing the restart games. Go a little early, go a little late.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have a specific spot. So he's going to be close to it, but it's not going to be the exact thing.
Let's see. We got to pick up a couple of comments here that came in over the last few minutes. Tyler Shattuck is checking in. Long time no see. Hey, buddy, how are you? Hopefully you are having a good time tonight here, enjoying the U.S. Open wheel cars. Live coverage coming up next of the U.S. Open Wheel D class. I think we're going to see a race very similar to this one. The only difference is there are no cautions in that one. So all the carnage and drama that we're getting in this race, keep the green flag out there and let them eat for about 15, 20 minutes or so. So lights are out on the iRacing safety car. Caution out for the 5th time here tonight. Let's show you the race summary one more time. 3 leaders for 2 lead changes. 5 cautions for 25 laps. And Alexander Wesley Hazelworth still holding on to the fastest lap of the race award. And remember, we do have the combined and individual broadcast championships that are up for grabs as well. Wes Shire is going to go a long way towards putting himself towards the front here after this one. Man, he did it again!
Wow.
I'll tell you what, Ben Carswell is getting frustrated back there. We were joking about Ben's hot temper in the pre-race discussions. The problem is he can't go. If he makes the move inside and passes Karszewski before the start-finish line, he's going to get a black flag penalty. Oh, and the caution is out again. 6th caution flag of the race with 6 laps to go. Oval Week is living up to the moniker for carnage here.
Yes, sir. It's been a while. Normally they've been pretty clean, but yeah.
Let's take a look here and see if we can see what happened to Alexander Wesley Hazelworth. That's the white car down on the inside. Just twitched a little bit. Oh, man, Simon fell with a big hit to the outside wall. Hazelworth loses the front and the rear wings. His night will be done. Taking a look here to see Simon Fell is on pit lane. Mike Holler's still out on the racetrack. He caught a tiny little piece of that. May have been, I mean, literally a brush at the front here. But now with 4 laps to go, I think we're going to be down to, what, a 1-lap shootout? Maybe a 2-lap shootout?
Yeah, I don't know how much we're going to have going back green.
I'm trying to think. This is if this is the second full lap under caution, we will get the green with 2 to go. Because all your cautions are going to be 5 laps long. Depending on where they catch the pace car, either 4 or 5. We'll see if the lights go out here. And they do not. So it will be... They will get the 1 to go signal with 2 laps to go. If Westshire can hold on to pick up the broadcast win, that would be huge. Let's see. Lights are still on.
Damn, that might be it then.
I think we're going to, let's see. Yeah, we may get one of these deals where the pace car will duck in on the white flag lap, and it's going to be a very short blast to the start-finish line.
Oh my God, 1-lap shootout.
Not even a 1-lap shootout. A 200-yard shootout is what it's going to be.
Yeah, crap, you're right.
Literally, the pace car would turn in here. The field will come off of turn 4, take the green flag, and then the checkered flag will fly next time around. But the white flag will be out this time. Barring anything silly or stupid, your podium will be Westshire, Brian Karszewski, and Ben Carswell. However, being under caution for the 6th time tonight, I can't say that there is any guarantee that we won't see silliness or stupidity.
Right?
Actually, the lights are still on. So again, it would have to be really silly or really stupid for the outcome of this race to be different. But off of turn number 4, twin checkers will go in the air for the first time tonight, and Westshire gets an SOF broadcast win at USA International.
Back to back.
He is going to come around and roast some coffee here on the front straightaway. Ben Carswell swinging by to show some love. How about the donuts from Westshire here? These are, the man is a master of the donuts. Slides it out, parks it in victory lane. Well done, Mr. Westshire. Let's get you your official race results here tonight. This one occurring under caution, so the gaps are semi-irrelevant. But Wes Shire, Brian Karszewski, and Ben Carswell capturing podium positions here tonight. Everett Paddock, Brian Labarge, Mike Barry, Mike Long, Nagisa Yoshikawa, Nieje Camargo, and Rod Eskew complete your top 10. 11 through 20 going to be Mike Holler, Joseph Heath finishing 1 lap down in 12th, Simon Feld 13th, Alexander Wesley Hazelworth 7 laps down in 14th, Zach Nurenberger 15th, Richard Holt 13 laps behind in the 16th position, Jack Ritchie, Stephen C. Thompson, Steve Gauthier, and Nicholas Daly will round out the field tonight. From a pair of podiums 1 week ago to going out on lap number 1 here tonight, this is not the way Nicholas Daly wanted to get this night started. But with that, let's get ready for our Victory Lane interviews here, and we'll bring up, oh, well, here he is. Let's bring him up into the booth with us. Congratulations, Mr. Wes Shire. Another big SOF win here coming at USA International. Congratulations.
Yeah, 2 in a row. That's unexpected, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we were discussing that. Impressive, I will say that, to see what you were able to do. But this one was not necessarily easy. You were dealing with a lot of cars that you had to contend with throughout the course of this race.
Yeah, start of that was definitely hang out, save tires, and just wait for my opportunity. Both Brians were definitely quick there. I think without the mistake from Karszewski, how do I say that? Where he tapped Labarge, who, and I feel bad for him. Like, he had the speed. He absolutely could have won that race. But yeah, that's just unlucky. It's, real tight out here, and yeah, unfortunate. But yeah, other than that, just save tires as much as I could and play the cautions.
Yeah, and that was, we talked a little bit about the fact that you were going to not have to contend with as much tire wear, not even a ton of heat cycling, really. I don't know that we got that many green flag laps in consecutively at any one point. How was the car to drive from that perspective? Was the heat cycling a big problem, or was it kind of just not ever time to get them real hot?
Surprisingly, yeah, not too bad on the heat cycles. I think there was a little bit on the first reasonable size run, but yeah, beyond that, not really that bad.
Well, you're going to pick up a bunch of points here in the broadcast championship, and going a long way towards claiming another oval officially unofficial crown, I guess. We're coming back here week 11 to Worldwide Technology Raceway, the artist formerly known as Gateway. You got to be jacked up, man. 2 great ovals for you here coming up this season.
Oh, yeah, love Gateway. Already got the set optimized for that, so yeah, we'll be good to go, and looking forward to that one.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on the win here, and before we let you go, do all those big sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yeah, as usual, got to thank you guys for the broadcast. Got to do a little shout out to my other life as a D&D live streamer and YouTuber. Search up Tales from Rukon on Twitch and YouTube. You'll certainly find us there. And of course, big old shout out to Homestead Coffee, keeping me awake and alert enough to drive these things and win these races.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here for a moment and try to see who else we have. Well, we got to drag Ben Carswell up here and get him into the room for an interview as our 3rd place finisher here this evening. I'll tell you what, Ben, that car was really, really good tonight. You were one of the few that we saw passing a bunch of cars out there.
It felt really good. I got lucky with a few of the passes, I think. Brian Labarge had a bit of contact with Karszewski, and then I was able to get a run on Everett. But yeah, it was really, really difficult to pass. You had to really kind of time in the corner, get the run, and try and blast down either the inside or the outside. But yeah, really, really happy with that race. I would have liked 2nd, but I'll take 3rd.
I was going to say, was the frustration level peaking up a little bit on those restarts that it just seemed like Wes was able to break out 3 or 4 car lengths? It almost seemed like a couple of times you had to check up to avoid the penalty for passing before the start-finish line on the inside.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I would see Wes go, and then I would get a great jump, and then I'd have to kill all the momentum to not get black flagged. And the moment I killed all the momentum, not get black flagged, Everett was right there, and Everett's phenomenal. He's on it, so of course he's looking to get by me. So it was definitely tricky. It just I got alongside him, and I would have issues getting through the corner underneath like that, and the caution would come out right when he was ahead of me. So it's just unfortunate, but
well, I'll tell you what, it was
nothing much you can do.
A great run here tonight. Are we going to see you in the Camel GT Happy Hour show tomorrow afternoon?
No, I'll be at work, but you will next week. You will see me next week. I will be doing the Friday Camel session.
There we go.
Having a blast.
Looking forward to it. All right, buddy. Well, before we let you go here, do all the sponsor plugs and thank yous. New livery on the car this season. Looks fantastic.
Thank you. I made it myself. I had help from a livery designer right now with some of the work on it. But obviously, big shout out to NRN, National Racing Network, for broadcasting this, for letting me write about IndyCar stuff. And Pizza at the Pagoda, Team Watson Racing Setups. Go check them out. They're, if not the only, they're certainly the best setup shop for this car. And a great community to go check out and get faster with.
Yeah, good people. Fun to hang out with. Always good stuff there out of the crew from Team Watson Racing Setups. But, man, it looks like I don't see Brian Karszewski hopping into the room here for the interview for the second-place finisher tonight. But, man, I'll tell you what, James, as we get ready to roll off for the, what are they called? USF2000.
USF Open Wheel D?
Yes, whatever they are. Just find the D, you'll be good. Man, that's
what she said.
The Indy Pro 2000 Championship from USA International. Not the race I thought we were going to see, but it definitely had the potential after what I saw last night. Cars that are towards the back of the pack are not only trying to fight for their lines, you're fighting for control a lot of times. With just the slightest bobble in front of you, upsets the car, and you're going around and potentially ending your night.
Yep. Yeah. The slick temps, man. It's difficult. Like, it's easier with the nighttime when we were here last season, but these hot slick temps, they just wreak havoc, making a tough race and a tough night even tougher.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's get the commercial break in here, and then we will come back. It'll be about 5 minutes or so, but we'll be coming back with the U.S. Open Wheel D-Class race. Same cars, almost identical cars, 100 less horsepower, and no cautions. What could possibly go wrong with a D-Class race here at USA International? Don't go anywhere. You are watching the U.S. Open Wheel doubleheader right here on NRN.
So sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Welcome back here, everybody, to more National Racing Network live coverage here. We just got finished with the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. Now, the Cooper Tires USF2000 Championship. US Open Wheel D-Class taking on USA International Speedway. He was quick in the last round. He's going to be quick in this one. Brian Karszewski at the top of the speed charts in car number 4 as practice is done. It is time to go qualifying here at USAI. And James, based on what we saw in the last race, Chaos Carnage could be the order of things here for this one.
Yeah, we thought the last race was bad. This race is probably going to be a little worse. You know, but like this is still a high-level split, high-level guy. So I don't think it's going to be too chaotic, maybe. But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, West Shire, your winner in the last race, carrying the number 2 into this one as the second highest I-rated driver in the field. Carter Lundy carrying the number 1. A little bit surprised that we did not see him in the last race, but he's going to be here for this one. Laps coming in. Lundy going to be quick, 19.784 seconds, 110.809 miles per hour. Nicholas Daly, only 86 thousandths back. Brian Lamarge, Mike Barry, Brian Sharp, Karszewski, the top 5. Off of turn number 4, West Shire only going to be good for 8th quick. Here's Joseph Heath. He had trouble early on in the Indy Pro race. He is just finishing up his qualification lap, and it was a good run for Heath. Ben Carswell also finishing up his run. Oh, buddy, way sideways is Nicholas Daly. Daly carrying the number 14 into this race. These numbers are a little bit backwards, though, James, because on the oval weeks, it goes by your oval I rating. Guys like Nicholas Daly that don't run a ton of ovals, their I rating is not going to be all that high of a number here.
No, we got the usual suspects, but not in their usual territory. So it messes the S up just a bit, but these are still the best points you're going to get all week long.
Yeah, qualifications are over, and it is time for the cars to grid up here at USAI. Let's take a look. Yeah, this camera angle will work. Let's take a look at the starting grid for tonight's race. On the pole, no surprise, Carter Lundy, 110.809 miles per hour. 26 thousandths back, going to be Joseph Heath, lining up on the outside of row number 1. Row 2 will have Ben Carswell lining up alongside Nicholas Daly. row number 3, Brian Labarge and Brian Karszewski. A lot of these guys having really good runs in that C-Class race. We'll see what they can do here in D-Class. Everybody revving the engines up. You're trying to burn off a little bit of fuel while they're sitting on the grid. Row number 4 will be Mike Barry and Rod Eskew. Row 5, Wes Shire and David Zippy. Going to be a long way to go for Shire to get up to the front of the field here tonight. Nietzsche Camargo, Nagisa Yoshikawa on row number 6. Again, a couple of guys we're used to seeing more towards the front of the field. Going to be interesting to watch how those guys develop over the course of this race. Mike Holler and Stephen C. Thompson on row number 7. Still only a quarter of a second back to 14th place. Lining up all alone on row number 16 will be the 12 of Cooper Ward. 15 cars across, well, 15, 15, and 14. I can do the quick math. That is 44 splits, or 44 entries, I should say, across 3 splits. So again, D-Class racing on the U.S. Open wheel side, pretty healthy. However, James, the big one here is no cautions. An incident early could cause abject carnage on this racetrack, especially if people don't hold the brakes or try to rejoin with a wounded race car.
Yep, or if they just, you know, they're a pilot, they're just there for the ride when the car dies and they lose all tires.
Yeah, that's the other one too. This one's going to be wild, but as always, race fans, the start of this one going to be all yours. They're through turns 1 and 2 cleanly. Wes Shire already moving himself up through the field. Good side-by-side battle for the second position. That's going to be Ben Carswell inside of Joe Heath. He's going to get that pass made. Now Nicholas Daly. Thank you, sir. May I have another? He's going to come through to the inside. Heath able to get the good run momentum-wise off the corner. And that's really the key here. Unlike the Indy Pro car that's a little bit of brake and kind of hustle it through the corners, this one is really about momentum. If you're going to give up speed, give it up on corner entry so you can build that momentum back up all the way at corner exit.
Yep. Yeah, it's really hard to be quick in this car, man. They tend to make this setup a little too tight, so you got to really just get through the center of the corner as best as you can, but it's really not easy.
Carter Lundy goes new fastest lap of the race, 19.833 seconds. And he's up here snaking and trying to break the draft down the front straightaway. That's not going to work here. Kind of doing the same thing down the backstretch. Actually, at a place like this, it can kind of hurt you because you're covering more ground than everybody else is.
Yep. And draft isn't really a thing.
Especially in these cars that are a little bit down on power compared to the Indy Pros. All that Lundy has to do to win this race is just stay there. Hit your marks, be clean, and he's going to be able to force Ben Carswell into some crazy move to try to pass him.
Yep.
A little bit deeper in the pack, Wes Shire in a hotly contested battle with David Zippy and Rod Eskew. Zippy getting the look down to the inside as Lundy again goes new fastest lap, this time over 111 miles per hour for the average. Now, we just saw Wes Shire dominate a race in a car with 100 more horsepower. The difference here, though, is not the horsepower, it's the fixed setup. Wes is a little bit particular in what he likes in a race car. And 99 times out of 100, he's not going to get it out of this fixed setup in the D-Class.
Yeah, Wes is like me. He just doesn't like the fixed setups. We like to tune into our driving style, our unique, rear-happy preferred driving style.
Yeah, if you're a guy who likes a loose race car, the D-Class fixed is just hard. And there is no other way to say it. Moving a little bit further up here, picking up the 11 of Brian Labarge. A lot of chrome on the back of that race car. That's pretty. Labarge battling with Brian Karszewski and Mike Barry. Your top three, still nose to tail, still being well behaved. Man, we got a good couple of battles here, though. Let's bring you up the side-by-sides. That's Wes Shire inside of Rod Eskew. This battle is pretty good. Let's also move up towards the head of the field here. Ben Carswell has Joe Heath only about a car length and a half, maybe 2 car lengths as they get off at 2. One-third distance will be complete next time by the start-finish line. Again, this race only going to last about 15 minutes or so. 45 laps at 20 seconds a lap works right out to about 15 minutes. Looking at the intended purpose of the D-Class structure within iRacing, James, this kind of is perfect for that person who's just gotten out of rookies. You don't have to worry about running a race that's going to run you 45 minutes or an hour. Every hour on the hour, you're going to be able to jump in a D-Class car and hone your skills. Yes, we're doing this as a broadcast SOF race, but the reality is every hour you're going to have at least 25 to 30 cars entering these races.
Yeah, it's a good place to learn. It's not a super difficult car to learn, but yeah, if you're not careful, it's gonna bite you. Not quite like the PM18 does, but it's got a little bite if you're not careful.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's the nice step up from the Formula Ford car, which is I think that's the new rookie car, right? The rookie open wheel car is the Formula Ford.
Still the V.
Or still the
V's.
V's.
Still the
Okay.
V and the Ford.
So you have the Formula V, the Formula Ford. That is the next step, especially for Americans. You would typically go karting either into a Formula V, a Formula Ford, or you're going to make the jump right into these USF2000 cars. Something that we're not seeing a lot of anymore, though, is drivers spending 3 or 4 years developing their skills in this car. It's more like do a year or two, get the scholarship, graduate up to Indy Pro, and then hope for the best once you're done Indy Pro, now that Indy Lights is no longer affiliated with Anderson Promotions. In the real world, this is becoming a little bit dicey in how the development plan goes for an American open wheel driver. You almost have to go to Europe to get a little bit of experience.
Pretty much, yeah, which is the same. These are good cars to learn, and they teach you throttle control, how to really wring the performance out of the car. But yeah, it's just a shame seeing what the RTI ladder has become and trying to look forward to what's NXT.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Joe Heath trying to fight off Nicholas Daly. This is the fight for the 3rd position on the podium. One car going around in turn number 1. I believe that was Mike Holler going around. We'll see if we can see what happened here, but he may have had some help. Heath able to hold off Daly at this point. Ben Carswell had tucked right up underneath the back end of Carter Lundy. Let's pull up the side-by-side here and show you a look at what happened to Mike Holler here. The AJ Camargo right behind. Please no Punterino. Little bit of contact and Holler goes around in turn 2. A bad night gets worse for Mike Holler. Top 4 are in line. It's going to be interesting to see if Ben Carswell is going to be able to catch up to Carter Lundy again. And can he hassle him into a pass? How about it? Carswell looking inside right now. He's not going to be close enough, but Lundy able to clear. Now Carswell thinking about the cross. He's just going to get a little bit of air on the outside of the front wing. Tucks right back in line. Bring you up the side-by-side again, because we got a good battle still here towards the back of the pack. Wes Shire, Nagisa Yoshikawa, and David Zippy battling. That is 7th, 8th, and 9th. Zippy, Yoshikawa, and Shire in that order. They were side-by-side until we went to them. Just ahead of Zippy is going to be Mike Barry. Brian LaBarge is there, too. So it's kind of 5 through 9 are lined up, running about 2.5 seconds behind this lead pack.
Yeah, we're going to get more of a draft play with here, but it's still not going to be that difficult.
No, it's going to take the top 4 wrecking for these guys to have a chance, as we are already down to 16 laps to go. Yep. And quite frankly, Carter is really good. We know that. Ben's not the kind of guy that's going to dump someone for a race win. Nicholas Daly's not going to dump someone for a race win. Joe Heath, a little bit of an unknown to us, but running cleanly at the front of this field, not doing any crazy blocking or anything like that. I don't think you necessarily see the issue out of these top 4.
Nope, though, as we say that.
Chaos, carnage, and insanity is around every corner in D-Class racing. That's, I think, the thing that you learn the most in D-Class, as much as basic car control, is wreck avoidance. You just kind of have to develop that feeling for when it's going to happen and where.
Yeah, sixth sense of, oh no, the BS-o-meter.
The I don't feel safe button.
Yes, sir. That's why I spam it.
This race giving me a lot of old Milwaukee Mile vibes at the moment here. Place that looks really wide, but it's really incredibly narrow. I mean, we can see in that bottom right window, Wes Shire is having all sorts of trouble. Even getting just the littlest bit underneath of Nagisa Yoshikawa. Ben Carswell, same deal. He gets up behind Carter Lundy, and it's like he has to back off 3 or 4 car lengths just because you're getting the aero push.
Yep, the aero push is so difficult. I think even worse in this car.
Nicholas Daly down inside of Joseph Heath. It'll be 10 to go this time by the start-finish line. Daly finally able to complete that pass after about a lap and a half. Look up just ahead here, Mike Barry side by side with Stephen C. Thompson. Thompson running up on the high side of the racetrack. Barry trying to get the look down to the inside. Oh, and there's contact. Barry's in the fence. Yoshikawa's in the fence.
They're all on the fence.
Not quite. But this is what gets scary for some of these guys, because the more you look at this, you're going to have damaged race cars trying to get back to pit lane. There's Barry. He goes for a slide. And that's the last thing you want to see as these race leaders, is cars trying to get themselves back to pit lane.
Yeah.
Winding this back, we'll show you the replay here in the small box, because the battle for the lead is pretty darn good. Mike Barry looking inside of Steven C. Thompson, clips the apron, clips Thompson, and Nagisa Yoshikawa with absolutely nowhere to go. Take a look. Let's go on board here with Ben Carswell in the side-by-side. You can see that little bit of aero push almost forces him up into the outside wall. He ran the entirety of 3 and 4 right in the wake of Carter Lundy. 1 and 2, able to get a little bit of air on that left front wing. And it's not a ton that you need in these cars, James, because they have so little downforce to begin with.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I was just saying there's only so much downforce that you need to give these cars. A little bit of air is going to do a lot.
Yeah, kind of what we talked about in the earlier race. That little bit of air may not seem like a whole lot, but it's going to be worth quite a bit time-wise and tire temperature-wise.
Down to 2 laps to go. Carswell still within a car length of Carter Lundy. He's going to have to make the move about here, though, because it takes you about a lap and a half to get the pass completed, and just not able to get close enough. White flag is out, 1 lap to go here at USA International for Oval Week number 1 for the U.S. Open Wheel doubleheader. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. Off the corner, twin checkers in the air. Lundy celebrates early. Oh, that was closer than it needed to be. But Carter Lundy picks up the win in USF2000. I have to say, I would have pointed and laughed at him in the interview if he had lost that race with the celebration.
Yeah, that was like reminds me of Ray Hall at Texas in 2016.
That's what I was thinking of. Graham Rahal throwing the fist up about a quarter of a second too early almost cost him that race. There it is, Carter Lundy, your race winner in U.S. Open Wheel D. While he burns them down, let's take a look at your race results. It was about a half second coming off of turn 4, and it was a quarter of a second by the time they got to the start-finish line. With Ben Carswell coming up just short, picking up his second podium of the night, though. Nicholas Daly rebounds from a tough race in U.S. Open Wheel C to finish 3rd. Joe Heath, West Shire complete the top 5. David Zippy, Stephen C. Thompson, Brian Labarge, Rod Eskew, and Yeje Camargo completing the top 10, 11 to 15. Cooper Ward, Mike Holler, Brian Karszewski all finishing on the lead lap. Mike Barry 2 laps behind, and Nagisa Yoshikawa going out early after that incident with Mike Barry, finishing 9 laps behind the leaders. Take a look at who we have to talk to here. Let's get ready. We'll bring up Ben. Let's see. I don't see Nicholas Daly, but I do see our race winner popping into the booth. So we'll get the instant replay squared up here and there we got him. Let's do the magical TV tricks here. Fade everything over. Pick up Carter Lundy, our race winner here tonight in U.S. Open Wheel D class. Man, I'll tell you what, Carter, it looked easy. You were out front, but Ben was absolutely hounding you towards the later stages of that race.
Yeah, he was there all race, and I think I felt my tires just getting a little bit worse towards the end. Maybe I wasn't expecting it so much, so I think he might have had a little bit of pace on me at the end, but he was struggling with the dirty air. Every time he was almost getting a run, he just lost it down the exit to the start-finish straight. And with a few laps to go there was a car coming out of the pit lane who I thought was coming right up onto the track. So I swerved up high, and Ben had a pretty good run, but just couldn't make it stick.
Yeah, all in all, not a bad night for you here, though. You pick up another win in the U.S. Open Wheel D class. Interesting, we're not seeing you run the C class races here with the time change. I know that can be a little bit difficult based on your location, but I tell you what, got to feel good, man. 2 starts, 2 wins here in the broadcast SOFs here for the Open Wheel D class.
Yeah, it's killing me that the Rangers games are coming into the broadcast, so I think I might have to make some tough choices for next week and maybe try and make it to the race. But yeah, the USF has been going well. I've done 2 races this season, so not in the hundreds yet. We're 2 for 2 though, so try and keep that up for the in-game championship this season, I guess.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on the win here tonight in the USF2000 cars. And before we let you go, do all the big sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yep, thanks to you guys as always for the broadcast. Of course, looking forward to watching that one back tonight. And thanks to Team Watson Racing for the USOW. Obviously, we have fixed setups in the USF, which some disagree with, but they make the setups for the Indy Pro. So thanks to them. Everybody should go get their Indy Pro setups from them. And thanks everybody for watching, and have a good night.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate you coming to check in with us here. And let's bring in our runner-up finisher tonight. I don't know that I want to talk to this guy twice in one night, but we're going to do it anyway. Ben Carswell, congratulations. The car was fast. Carter even said you may have had a little bit more outright pace late in the race. Ultimately, it was just Dirty Air was an absolute killer tonight.
Yeah, it was. At one point, Joseph and Nick were catching us, and I told Carter in our voice chat to hurry up a little bit, and he said he was going as fast as he could, so that was news to me. But yeah, I guess I could have got by him. It's just you can't make the move. If you get the crossover, you get washed out by the Dirty Air, and you go wide. I mean, I was pulling all the way up to the wall on a few occasions, just trying to get all the throttle I could out of it.
Yeah,
But,
we were following you on board in the late stages of that race, and you were coming very close to that outside wall on several occasions. This car is so much about momentum. It's almost like you have to do that if you want to make any time.
Yeah, especially because the Dirty Air is going to wash you out wide. Carter wasn't going that wide, and he was running the same lap times as me because he had the clean air and he could hit the apex correctly. So I don't know. Just got to get better at qualifying, I guess. I thought I had him there a couple times, and he would go wide, and he would just come back down in front of me, and the air would be gone, and that was that. So.
Well, good run tonight. Couple of podiums. Congratulations. And before we let you go, do all the big sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Well, once again, I want to thank you and NRN for broadcasting this and allowing me to write things about IndyCar on nationalracingnetwork.com. And I want to thank the good folks at Team Watson Racing for being a good community. I want to thank the TNT Discord, the unofficial Discord of the official US Open Wheel
Series. You're not going to stir that up. You just want the comments. You want the forums to be fun tomorrow.
Well, listen, as someone who's very invested in this community, I think it's great to have a place where we can all gather that isn't hard and confusing to access like the forums. Very informal, nice place to gather. I encourage everyone to come on to discord.gg/TNT Racing. I will personally assign you the US Open Wheel roles, and you can have a great conversation with us and learn all about oval racing. We're happy to help.
Yeah, learn about oval racing and tons of other things that you never thought you would ever want to learn about. You'll learn a lot. All right, Ben, thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here. A good run both races tonight. Talk to a guy now who this is a redemption finish for him. Taken out in a lap 1 incident of U.S. Open Wheel C-Class racing. Nicholas Daly putting on a heck of a show here late in this one to come home third. Great battle throughout that race with Joe Heath tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, That Indy Pro race didn't go my way. Yeah, kind of just took it easy into turn one, and then yeah, got taken out. So really happy to just send it in this race and make it on the podium.
Yeah, and it was kind of an interesting run to watch because the gap would close up between you and Joe and Carter and Ben, and then at times it would open back up again. It seemed like you would catch the dirty air from Ben. That would kind of force you back a little bit. You get battling side by side a little. Ultimately, just not enough to make that attack move on the top two.
Right, yeah. Yeah, like when yeah, I tried twice to pass Joseph. But yeah, I think whenever you're really trying to get around someone, you start to push the front tires too much, and then they kind of overheat a bit. And then once you kind of like lose out on that, you have to wait a few laps to bring the tires back in. And then you kind of need to wait for like a decent enough run where you can just send it down the inside. Yeah, so ultimately on the last attempt, I was just went full send to make it through. So yeah.
Well, great run for you tonight. Congratulations on that. And before we let you go, do all the big sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yeah, of course. Shout out to Downforce Racing. Shout out to you guys for putting on a great broadcast, and thank you to all the viewers for watching.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here for just a couple of minutes. And, man, I'll tell you what, James, as we get ready to wrap this show up, a great day of racing. Obviously, you were not around for the Lotus 49 and Lotus 79 races. If you get a chance, watch back the Lotus 79 race. It was a race that nobody wanted to finish second. Every second place runner wrecked themselves at some point. The Lotus 49s were just majestic to watch zipping around Mid-Ohio. And then we got two really interesting races tonight. Kind of chalk what we expected out of the D-Class race. But that C-Class race was really pretty intense considering all of the issues that we had.
Yeah, like, you know, we've said it a million times, this track is tough. It's hard to race. You're not going to get a whole lot of cool, fun, chaotic action like we do with some of the other ovals on the schedule. But as far as this goes, it was still pretty solid. We had some really good moments.
Yeah, I think we had some good stuff to show here tonight. And then coming up next week, I believe we head off to Okayama, if I'm not mistaken. Looking forward to that. This is really a season of just classic road courses that we have here. A little bit different from the classics we saw last season, but still a lot of those kind of venues that you say, these are absolutely perfect for these race cars.
Yeah, it's such a great track, just a great flowing track. We've got a lot of experience on it, a lot of recent experience since it was only a couple weeks ago since we ran at Okayama last. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking to see all the movers and shakers and everything.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to watch coming up next week from Okayama. Then we head off to Road America, and then a round that have been looking forward to since the schedule dropped. Brands Hatch Indy layout. Absolutely perfect course for both of these U.S. open wheel cars. Both C-Class and D-Class are going to put on great shows out at Brands Hatch. But with that, it's time for us to get the heck on out of here. Coming up tomorrow afternoon, it will be the Camel GT Happy Hour, 5 p.m. in the East. Grab your favorite frosty cold beverage and kick off the weekend with us right here on NRN. Saturday and Sunday, James and I think James will be with me in the booth. We got to find the schedule out first. But Spec Corvette Racing is back on NRN. I am so excited. We are going to have a minimum of 8 in-car cameras to provide you all the action of the Spec Corvette series coming up this weekend. That will be both Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Check the socials. Those posts will go up at some point tomorrow morning once we get the official schedule from the Spec Corvette series. Monday, we're back with the Silver Crowns. Wednesday, Sim Racers Club. Then we're right back here for 4 big races next Thursday afternoon. We are getting out of here, though. Time for us to go have some fun, enjoy, and get ready to kick off the weekend. For James Watson and everybody here at the National Racing Network that makes these shows happen, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us all afternoon and into the evening here. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you all soon. See you later, everybody.